Hey everyone, and a huge welcome to all the recent grads joining us for this explainer. You did it! You crossed the stage, you finally got the diploma, and honestly, perhaps the most exciting part, you are starting to see those first real paychecks hit your bank account. It's an incredible feeling, right? Going from that classic broke university student life to actually having a steady income. But, well, with that first entry-level salary comes a completely new set of challenges and, to be honest, a few hidden traps. So today, we're looking at the realities of your daily spending. We're going to explore a truly fascinating concept straight from our source material about the hidden, long-term impact of those tiny financial choices you make every single day on your commute to the office. Okay, let's dive into this. What if a simple, innocent $5 purchase could actually end up costing you over $100,000? Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. No way. It sounds totally impossible. It sounds like one of those exaggerated financial myths designed just to make you feel guilty about buying a morning latte. You look at your new starting salary and think, hey, it's just $5. I can totally afford this now. And you know what? It is incredibly easy to brush off a small expense when you feel like you finally made it. But as the source data makes very clear, it's absolutely not a myth. And it is definitely not an exaggeration. The math is very, very real. And millions of people make this exact mistake every single day. They're basically bleeding their wealth dry without even noticing it's happening. And listen, when you're just starting your career, your financial habits are highly malleable. The patterns you establish right now, literally in these first few months of earning real money, they're going to echo for decades. Let's move to Section 1, the $5 illusion, and see exactly how this builds. It's just so incredibly easy to view a purchase in a vacuum, right? A $5 expense isolated on a Tuesday morning feels completely harmless. But expenses are almost never isolated. They're habits, and habits compound. Let's run the numbers really quickly. Imagine buying that $5 coffee every single day before work. Day one, it's just $5. No big deal. But over 1 month, that's $150. 1 year, you're looking at $1,800 leaving your account. And over a 10-year timeline, right around the time you're navigating the middle of your career, that daily $5 habit has completely drained $18,000 from your pocket. $18,000. Just sit with that number for a second. Think about what that amount of money actually means to you right now as a recent graduate. That's a massive chunk of a down payment on a house. That is a reliable car. That's a fully funded emergency fund that could give you total peace of mind. And here's the truly staggering part our source material points out, that $18,000 is the cost before you even factor in investing. That's literally just the raw cash you handed over the counter. Which brings us to Section 2, the magic of compound growth. Now, what's really interesting about this is that as a young professional freshly out of university, you possess the single greatest financial superpower in the world. It isn't your starting salary, it's not your degree, it's time. Compound growth isn't just some boring term for finance textbooks. It's the reality of how money behaves over a long period. When you invest that small daily expense, it doesn't just add up linearly, it grows exponentially. You earn interest on your money, and then you earn interest on your interest. So those $5 bills aren't just lost cash. They are actually little seeds of massive future wealth that you're just choosing not to plant. Let's look at these two paths side by side. On the one hand, we have the path of spending $5 a day. We know exactly where that leads. An empty cup and $18,000 gone over a decade. But on the other hand, we have the path of investing $5 a day. By making that simple, tiny pivot, you aren't just saving the principal amount. With time and compound growth, you are triggering a massive financial snowball effect. This right here is the invisible, huge missed opportunity happening right under the noses of millions of young professionals. And the math brilliantly illustrates the true cost of this illusion. Look at this stark difference here. First, you have the raw, uninvested $18,000 you saved just by making your own coffee, which, hey, is great. But then look at what happens when that same small daily amount is invested consistently over time. Compound growth can explode that money into tens of thousands of dollars, scaling up to $100,000 or potentially even more, depending on your timeline and market returns. The difference between those two outcomes, that's the true cost of your habit. It's not the $5 today, it's the $100,000 of future wealth you just gave up. So how do we actually handle this? Section 3, plugging your financial leaks. Knowing the numbers isn't enough. We really need to pivot our mindset. Our source highlights a classic trap that almost everyone falls into. Most people believe the absolute best solution to their money problems is simply earning more money. You think, well, once I get that promotion or once I get my yearly bonus, I'll be totally fine. But earning more does absolutely nothing for you if your financial ship is full of holes. People focus entirely on increasing the water pouring into the bucket while completely ignoring the tiny leaks draining it out from the bottom. Let's identify those leaks because they are incredibly common in post-grad life. Things like buying coffee out, keeping subscriptions to streaming services or apps you completely forgot you even had, using food delivery apps on a lazy Tuesday night just because you're too tired after work, or making those random impulse purchases targeted at you on social media. Now, none of these things are inherently evil. Actually, they're designed to be convenient and enjoyable, but they are the exact tiny leaks that silently sink your financial ship. So the crucial point is captured perfectly right here. The point isn't to stop buying coffee. It's to understand where your money is going. I love this because this explainer is absolutely not meant to be a scolding session. I'm not telling you to never enjoy a barista-made latte again or to go delete every streaming app on your phone. No way. The lesson here is about total financial awareness. It's about making active, conscious choices with your new income, rather than just letting your wealth slip away on autopilot. To summarize the core takeaway from our source material, small expenses become big problems when repeated every single day. It's the repetition, not the individual price tag, that turns a minor $5 convenience into a major roadblock for your long-term wealth. Once you really recognize that the frequency is the actual danger, you can start to take back control of your paycheck. Which leaves us with this final question to ask yourself as you step out into your career. Where are the tiny leaks in your daily spending right now? I challenge you today to pull up your bank or credit card statements from the last 30 days. Comb through them, find your leaks. Because discovering those small habits today could literally be a $100,000 revelation for your future. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and good luck out there.